Hi everyone, Andy Granberg with Stewart Title. With me is
Nate Moline. How's it going, Andy?
it's going pretty well. So we had a very successful podcast going, but then Nate unfortunately took a promotion
Yeah.
and moved up to the city of Duluth to run things up there and be the business development officer. And reasoning was he couldn't stand his manager and his forced and what was it? Forced
I forced a relocation.
forced
That's
relocation and how he would make you do podcasts. Correct?
pretty much,
Yeah,
yeah.
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 So
So
you moved up to
so we
Duluth.
stopped, yeah, moved up to Duluth and therefore we stopped doing the audio recording podcast and we're like, you know what? It'd be better if people saw our faces from 200 miles away.
Yeah, and it was, you know what? It was about 2 months that we've had off,
Hmm.
and it's been hard. It's been hard, but no, it's been about 2 months, and we thought, well, how can we still do this without doing it in person? Turns out that a quick Google search showed us how, and actually maybe even improved it by using video. Correct, Nate?
It's crazy how this works. Yeah. Everything happens for a reason.
Everything happens
I
for
moved to Duluth specifically so we could have video
yeah,
chats now.
yeah.
You know?
So, anyway, what should we talk about today, Nate? You know, the podcast used to be it was how to help realtors get more business. I think we're going to stick with that because that's what we're good at.
Yeah, no, well, it's what we claim to be good at.
Okay, whatever. Yeah, good point. Good point.
But
So, Nate, how about you talk about first of all our new Stewart Now app, which I think is really cool, actually.
sure, yeah, our Stewart Now app is now available in Minnesota, which we've been dying to get for what, 6 months,
Yep.
a year now.
Mm-hmm.
We've been talking it up for forever, and we now actually have it.
Yeah.
My favorite feature about it is that you can actually track your files with it, which is pretty great. So, like a realtor will open up their file and then they can actually see what's going on with it and communicate with their closer through the app, which is super cool.
I did not know that actually.
Yeah, yeah, it's super
Wow.
cool. Then you can also kind of like market through there by checking out. You can kind of farm, check out the houses in the neighborhood, see what they're worth, if they're likely to sell their house in the upcoming future. So yeah, we kind of do it all with that app.
But
Follow
Nate,
your files.
Nate, I'm not technologically savvy. Could a guy like me do it?
I believe you could, Andy. I have a ton of faith in you.
Oh,
Um,
okay, I'll
all
be
you really
honest.
do is ask you or me to set you up with a profile. I'll send you an email with your credentials,
Mhm.
and then you'll just log in. It's super easy and
Uh,
it's pretty intuitive.
to be honest, it is pretty easy to use. I got on it, and right away I was pulling a farm by just circling a neighborhood, and you can see who wants to sell their house in the next 3 to 6 months.
Yeah,
That's valuable, right?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
So, Andy,
yeah,
knowing our topics that we are going to discuss,
yeah.
who is likely to use this app? What kind of generation?
Millennials like myself.
Well, yeah, exactly like you. You know, in this audio thing,
Yeah.
now people actually like see
Oh
us,
no.
and we like
So
it's
they.
gonna be depressing. They're gonna know that you're like 30, and they'll know that I'm a great-looking 26-year-old.
Oh gosh. I remember when I was 30 years old, 16 years ago. Tear. So through the magic of video, they can now see me crying instead of just hearing it on the podcast, right? The
So,
magic of video.
millennials,
Millennials,
you've
agents,
seen Ted Jones. You've seen how many of his presentations now?
three, which is a
So you
lot.
know all about
Right.
millennials.
So our chief economist, PhD Ted Jones, was just in town giving some speeches, some presentations, and his big thing was agents. You need to talk to millennials. They are 30%, 36% of the home buying market. Correct, Nate? Am I right on that?
Yeah.
And they're bigger savers than Gen Y and Gen X. They want to save money. They want to own a home. You know, they're not the lazy, do nothing type as they're stereotyped as, but they want to own a home. And this is my little thing that I always like to say is that okay, they buy their first house at like 29. Nate, when'd you buy your house?
25.
Wow, that's impressive.
I'm a progressive kind of guy.
No. So they buy their first house at 25, 26, 27. They end up getting married. Now they have two incomes, they have a couple of kids, they need to now go and sell that house and buy a bigger house, a step-up house. Which, so right there you have 3 transactions in about 5 years. What agent doesn't want that, right?
Yeah,
So
and
that's,
the average homeowner buys their first house at 32, and millennials are just getting into that where they actually have saved up for the last few years. They've got a good, stable job, and now they're actually able to afford to buy a house. So we're kind of coming into the age where millennials are just buying everything on the market, which is great.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And what do I always say, Nate? That one of the key things for agents, what do they have to do?
Sleep.
No.
Get a good night of sleep. You always say that.
That's why I say that when I'm late for work all the time.
Right.
I was getting a good night's sleep. I need this beauty rest. Clearly, I need beauty rest, right? Now that we're on video. Ooh.
I'm going to plead the fifth.
Yeah.
What do you always say, Andy?
Agents need to keep in touch with their past clients, right?
Yeah.
Why not
Yeah.
say that?
You always say that.
Yeah, and that's where your book of business is going to come from. I've talked to a lot of agents who've been in the business for a number of years, and I say, well, do you do this? Do you do that? No, I just keep in touch with people, and that's all you need to do. National Association of Realtors says that 6 months after someone purchases their house, they don't remember. What is it? 75% of people don't remember who their agent was, which is
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when it takes 6 months to buy a house nowadays. You know.
Good point,
That's
Nate.
insane.
Yeah.
What?
Nothing. I said, good point, Nate.
Yes. I got a good point.
Good, nice job, Nate. I'm going to bring this one up again. I know I harp on it, but I like it a lot. Your American Greetings idea for agents going to millennials. Go talk about it.
Yeah, I actually just sent one out today. Basically, AmericanGreetings.com. You can send out happy birthday emails, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, all that grand stuff. And you can actually send it out when you kind of have the time to do it. So, like, I sent out a couple of birthday cards for people that are having birthdays in a month. And then basically it will actually send out the birthday card in a month. And my favorite is Michael Bolton, and he basically sings happy birthday to whoever you want it to go to, which is awesome. And I know you're a big Smokey Robinson fan, which is just
Donny Osmond.
Either way, horrible decisions.
No, it's not. Everyone I send it to loves it. And by the way, I did just have a birthday, Nate, so...
This is awkward.
Yeah. Where was mine?
And I sent it out to the
monthly newsletter too. How could you forget?
American Greetings must have messed up. What can I say?
And here I go again, crying again on video. Second time in 8 minutes. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's a record right there.
But it's a really good way to save people's lives. I think it's like $20 a year. You can send out unlimited emails through it. Everyone loves it. But yeah, it's a good tool for real estate agents to kind of stay in there or stay up to date with their customers.
People that I send it to love it. They send back right away. This is the coolest thing I've ever seen. Agents I've told about it think it's absolutely wonderful. So it's cheap, $2.99 a month.
Yeah, that'll do.
Yeah.
What is that? Half the price of a Caribou coffee right now?
Well, how about an actual greeting card?
Yeah, no kidding. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, half the price of a regular greeting card.
The post office gets their cut too with the 47-cent stamp. Is it 47 cents?
They're just making so much money off of us.
That post office. You know what? I'm glad we brought it up, and maybe that's what this video cast needs to go into.
Well,
ripping on the
let's continue that. Let's continue our bashing the post office after you stop recording this.
It's probably a good idea. Yeah.
It seems like a good way to wrap it up, Andy. So, are we doing this every week?
Yeah, I think so. Do we still want to do the podcast though, too? Because a lot of agents are in their cars driving around. They probably shouldn't be watching our handsome faces.
Oh, God, that's too bad for them.
I know. I think we'll wrap it up on that brilliant note right there. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us. And again, look for us next week on Stewart Title Minnesota Presents Real Estate Trips Tips for Agents.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there we go. All right, everyone. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
See you guys.